Hi, I'm Luke Searveld. Welcome to another episode of Meet the Gaffer. Here we are in the presidential suite. We're in a hotel downtown San Francisco, and we're on the edge of a large corporate event. And so we get a lot of folks up here, and we interview them one after another, like every half hour. We call it a car wash. It's a two-camera interview, and this is the room we were given. So the DP, Jeff Regan, wanted to approach it with sort of a cool background and warm light on the subject. So we've got some S60 sky panels, two of them on top of each other, coming through an 8x half grid. And then we kind of had to block them off the background so you wouldn't see the reflection in the gel. We've got 1.2 ND gel in long strips on all these windows. And then we've got a couple of paper lanterns with tungsten globes that are on dimmers. And throughout the day, you know, as it gets brighter, we've got to turn those up, or, you know, as it's darker, we turn them down. So we do a little bit of changing of the light, but an interesting thing that happened was we were in this exact same room last year, but a month later in the year, so in October. Here we are in September, and the sun is, you know, it's a little higher in the sky, and it comes up a little earlier. So last year, we would start off the day, 8 o'clock interviews, and it would be kind of dark outside. And we would see the reflection of lights and things like that on the gel, so we had to close the shears, and we had to transition the light throughout the day. This year, sun's a little higher, comes up a little earlier, and we've been able to keep pretty much the same look consistently throughout the day. So just a little interesting tidbit about time of year. Okay, so then we also have a little Astra here as a scratch light. Normally we've been doing that as a cool back, but because late in the day here after our normal shooting is done, the sun has gotten kind of low, so it is hammering me here on the side. It's not doing that during the day on our interviews. But so we warmed up this scratch just for this shoot here, but normally we had that as cool as well. So just warm here, and all the rest kind of went cool, except for the little practicals in the background. Then we've got some dados that are up on a pipe up top in the back there, and those are backlighting our little set pieces on the tables. Okay, so just a note about all this gel. I mean, there's a lot of windows, right? And these aren't standard sizes or anything. You can't use like just the roll as is. No, you got to cut it. So a nifty way of going about that is, you know, you measure your window, and then you keep the ND in a roll, and we're going with the 1.2 here, and then you measure it out, you put some tape around it, and then you cut with a coping saw, and you get your nice, you know, clean edge, and then you can roll that out. And what I do is I use ATG tape. So it's just snot tape, and you put that in the corners, and then you can put a little strip on the side. And for the most part, since a lot of these windows are going to be out of focus for these, you know, these cameras, that works just fine. If you do see the edges and you see some light creeping in, then you can put a little bit of black paper tape along those edges. Another way and there's a bunch of different ways of doing gel, but another way to apply it is to combine water and a little bit of stickiness, like mucilage. It's like a glue that comes in a bottle. You combine, I'm not sure what parts to what part, but and you put that in a spray. Now you can spray down your window, put your gel on there, and squeegee it down, and it sticks to your window. Now, you can get some bubbles when that happens, and then you have, you know, a sticky window that you've got to clean, and you've got all that moisture. I prefer the snap tape. You still have to clean that off, but to me, it's a much sort of cleaner, quicker way to apply gel to a window. And then you just have to have a sharp blade to clean up those edges. And often windows like this have a little rubber lining around them, so you can cut into that rubber and or right next to it and have a clean edge. Anyway, that's just a little bit about gel. You know, you go through a number of rolls here, and that is an expense that production has to allow for. But, you know, it shows off a nice large room. And we sort of have the double ND because out on the balcony there, you've got those, you know, other panes of glass. And so there's a like double ND, and you can see above it where the sky is, that's a little brighter. So anyway, a couple different layers of things going on. Here we've got the two cameras. We got the wider view on a slider, and then the more portrait straight ahead shot is, you know, on sticks. All right, so, well, this gives you an idea of what the actual shots are. So this is the you know, the static shot where I'm looking at the interviewer just off camera, and then we've got the moving camera a little wider on the slider. There you go. Then we've got our key here. So, you know, it's not a large key, even though it's an 8x, but we're blocking off most of it. And that's to keep it off the background. So we've got one sky panel on top of the other, and they're bringing in the tungsten light here, the nice warm light. And then behind you here, we've got this rig. It's you know, an N-jaw, a Mathellini, out to some extensions and some grip heads and pins, and then I'm triangulating it from above here. And of course, you know, the grips make fun of the gaffers doing their own rigs, but there you have it. And then we, you know, depending on the reflectance of someone's skin, we dial this up and dial it down. You know, on darker skin, it's got a really nice sheen, can take a little more light, and on someone's lighter skin, maybe we got to take it down a bit. So that's that. So in the background, we've got these paper lanterns hanging on a bar. It's just gold posted between two stands. And yeah, we had to get around the soffit. Just barely got it. And then we've got 3 150-watt dados. So those are tungsten, and those all have to go down to a ballast as well. And those are backlighting our little table pieces. And these are tungsten bulbs. This is the long, skinny tungsten bulb, and that's just a regular 213. So 213 is like a 250-watt bulb. And then there's a 300-watt Fresnel that's hitting this pole here, which is kind of carrying the light of this around this column. And that works out pretty well. So, one more thing. Over here, back around the corner, we've got the sound tech cart and all the recorders that are taking the feed from those two cameras and putting them down to drives that the producers take off and edit quickly so they can put them up on the web. So this is the behind the scenes right here, and we've got all our equipment carts strewn in the back here. So that's a presidential suite ruled by Grip Electric Camera and Sound. Anyway, thought you might appreciate a little walk around the set, and thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.